very strong urge that I wanted to say something about it. But then the washing machine was on, the dryer was on, someone started, I don't know, landscaping in their backyard or something. There was a lot of noise. So then I thought, you know what, I'll just do a non-ASMR video about it on the topic. And then that didn't work because I just feel so comfortable and cozy within the ASMR realm that I don't know. I was like, no, none of it's working. And so, you know how it goes, I just started to randomly rummage around my room, opening drawers and cabinets, and then I pulled out this big basket that's in my room. And this has all my yarn. It looks like this. If anyone wants to come and help me detangle this at the bottom, I would love that help. Anyway, I was trying to detangle that and just go through my yarn, and then I started crocheting. And before I knew it, I was in the middle of my room just crocheting a scarf out of leftover yarn. So these are like four thingies of yarn. English words, I don't know any of those. So then I just decided that it would be fun to record a video. I know that sometime last year I talked about crocheting and people were like, you should do a crochet with me and chit chat type of video. So here we are. It's like a year later and we're doing it. So I'm just going to continue my little project. Maybe you have a project, maybe you're just drinking tea or hanging out, but I just wanted this to be a very, very laid back, chill hangout. I don't have anything structured or planned out that I want to talk about. We're just gonna see how it goes. And yeah, I'm doing 15 rows of this mustard yellow kind of color, and then this more rusty brown red, and then a green, and then I have a cream color, but I feel like this is a bit more cool toned than I would have liked. Anyway, I am going in this direction. So sideways. I kind of like scarves more when they're like this, but I don't have the patience to make a row that long and count more than 15 loops. I don't have the vocabulary to talk about this in English. I'm sorry. Anyway, I am using this hook that is... It only says maxi cord and then it doesn't say how big it is. If you're an avid crocheter, you tell me. But I'm just using this leftover yarn and I'll see how far I'll come. I probably won't even be able to finish it, but it's been a while since I've crocheted. I just want to get back into it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it over here so you can't really see it. I hope you don't mind that too much. And I'm just gonna keep going, and I hope that it will be somewhat relaxing and not loud. But yeah, what day is it today? It's a Tuesday. And I just edited and uploaded, like scheduled, my bookshelf tour part 1 video, which by the time you're watching this, I hope you will have seen that one, or that's already live. I never really know exactly when I upload things. This is probably going up Friday or Sunday. So happy weekend. But I had a lot of fun filming that. It was something that was on my mind for a long time before making it. And that always feels nice to then finally do it. I decided to kind of split up my bookshelf tour video in 2 parts and talk a bit rest of my day is kind of open. I have a physical therapy appointment later today, and that's it. I wanted to go to the thrift store, but I don't know, I have to go to that physical therapy appointment at 12. I don't know, it's quite a drive, blah blah blah, excuses. I just didn't really feel like going anymore, so maybe tomorrow or something, I don't know yet. I am also editing some vlog type of videos for my second channel, because I want to pick that up again, and I've felt very creatively inspired to do so. It just takes a lot longer to edit, like a lot longer, but it is my favorite type of video to edit is vlogs and stuff. But I feel like ASMR is kind of limiting in the editing, because I personally don't want to startle anyone in my videos, so texts with effects and stuff and crazy edits and I don't know, it's not the vibe, you know. So I'm saving all that editing passion for my second channel. And I actually made a little Paris vlog. I went to Paris to visit my aunt, I talked about that, but in case you missed it, she lives in Paris and she is a painter, and I went to go visit her, and my cousin was also there, which was nice. And I took a painting class from her, which was a childhood dream come true. And it was so cute. It was in her atelier, and there were these French elderly people, you know, who were taking her class, and one of them had baked a cake, and it was divine, and I was just sitting there in her atelier, painting, eating pastries, and that was living as a dream, truly. I was so grateful in that moment to be there, and it was a very nice feeling to be so aware of what I was doing, and how lucky I am to have been able to do that. It was a really lovely trip. I spent 4 days at their house and then 2 days in Paris, just on my own exploring. I feel like I didn't enjoy spending time in Paris as much as I wish I would have. I think the thing is that there are a lot of social things that you can do in Paris, with there being a lot of bars and little cafes and stuff, and those are things that I like to do with friends more so than doing them alone. I did take myself out to lunch, and I did sit in a cafe and ate a crepe, and then I was there on Sunday and Monday, and Sunday was crazy busy because it was the weekend and vacation for the French. And so on Sunday the museums were way too busy and the lines were absurdly long, and then on Monday a lot was closed. So I had a ticket to the Louvre, but I did not end up going because the wait was just way too long and I didn't have the energy. And so I decided to, you know, listen to my body and just skip out and save it for next time, hopefully. But I would love to go back to Paris with a friend. I did really enjoy, I really love the architecture, and so I truly did enjoy myself just walking around and going into different little shops and whatnot. But I also spent a lot of time under the ground. is just not really there. It is, if you're in Paris, a lot of people will speak English to you. But the language barrier sometimes just is a little bit of a thing, especially if you want to arrange something or get something done or need help with something. It's just a bit more difficult. I will say, I really got to practice my French, and it was not as bad as I thought that it was. Like, it was actually a lot better than I thought. I can understand things pretty well. However, if people are talking fast, no, you have to talk to me like I'm a 4-year-old kid, and talk slowly. That's what I told the painting people, the people in the class. And then they did, and that was a lot better. So, I might have the capacities of a 4-year-old French child, but I did manage, so that was nice. And I do love figuring out how all those things work. So how does the metro system work? What kind of card do I get? What stops do I want to get off at? Yeah, I don't know, there's just something about, at the end, when you have figured it out, it's very satisfying, because it's like, I did that all on my own. So yeah, that was a good exercise in my language skills and independence, you know, just being an independent woman abroad, nothing to do about it. It was nice though, because I spent a night at a hostel, and there was a sports bar attached to the hostel. There wasn't really a lounge or a nice common area, which I really strongly dislike that if hostels don't have a common area. Especially if you're in dorms. I hate it when they do that. But they had this sports bar next door, and a lot of the people from the hostel would sit there, and they also served breakfast there. So it was kind of part of it. Which there are a couple of hostels in Amsterdam as well that have that. But I went to the sports bar cafe thing, and I just sat and read in a corner somewhere, but then it was Premier League. So there was a soccer game on, and they had like 4 screens, and this random man came to sit down next to me to watch the game, and I was like, eh. And I had noticed this girl who sat down at the table in front of me, and I knew that she was from the hostel, and so I just grabbed my bag and I went to the bathroom, and then I walked back and I went to her table and I was like, "Hi, are you from the hostel?" She's like, "Yeah." Like, "Can I sit with you, because there's a man next to me and I'm not feeling it." The guy was fine, by the way. It was just a 2-person table, and we were sitting there and he was watching the game, and I wasn't feeling that vibe. And she was like, "Oh yeah, we're besties now, sit down, blah blah blah." And she was from the States, and we had such a good time. There were 2 guys who were at our table as well. One was Australian and one was Irish, and we just sat and watched the game and had nachos and chatted about life, got to know each other. The 2 guys lived in Paris, but it was nice because we were all from somewhere else and doing something else, and that was very interesting. And yeah, that was kind of my night in Paris. I just sat at a sports bar, watched the Premier League. Anyway, we watched that game, and then I went to bed, and then the next day I had the Eurostar back to Amsterdam musician before, so that was like kind of nice and nostalgic to go visit. So I didn't really have a bucket list of things that I wanted to see anyway, so I just roamed around and enjoyed myself until I had to catch the Eurostar back home. It's a 3.5-hour journey to get to Amsterdam, which is nothing, but then it is also still like an hour and a half to get home. I always kind of underestimate traveling times, because even though it was 3.5 hours and then an hour and a half, like you still have a pretty long travel day. Regardless of where you're going, it's the same as catching a flight. It's like, oh, you know, it's a 4-hour flight, whatever, but it's an hour and a half to the airport, and then you have to be there X amount of hours early, so you lose a day anyway. The sad thing is just that with there being so much traffic, it would normally take 5 hours to get from us to Paris, or at least to my aunt, but it's just not doable due to traffic anymore. And I mean, environmentally, it's better to take the train, obviously, but the Eurostar is expensive, and I went on a deal, so I got to go pretty cheaply, but single tickets go for like 200 euros depending on the day that you book. It's actually even cheaper to fly to Paris from the Netherlands a lot of the time, which is ridiculous. But with traffic being so bad and it taking you 7 hours to get from A to B, and the Thalys being like 200 euros, it's faster and cheaper to fly, and that's just messed up. The system is not working. But yeah, I did take the Eurostar. I don't plan on taking a plane to Paris, but I do know that with a lot of other cities in Europe, it's just cheaper to fly a lot of the time, which is very saddening. But anyway, we're here to relax and not talk about climate, but it's just something that's on my mind a lot. This is how far along I am into the scarf. I think it will look cute. It looks very bright on camera, but I think it's a lot more muted. And I really love how it's matching the vibe in the room. The colors are very me, I think. But yeah. Maybe it's a little bit too wide. Nah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So yeah, that was my little trip to Paris. If you want to see the vlog, I would say check out my second channel, because it will come out soon. There are just some things that happened on the trip that I can't really talk about yet because things aren't finalized. But big things were coming. I think, I don't know, there were just yeah, I can't say much else about it. I just hope that I will get to tell you very soon. It's not a YouTube brand thing or anything. It's about a home. So anyway, that's that. But since coming home, I had very hectic days. The day after I got home, I immediately had some appointments, and that's draining. And then the day after that, I spent the entire day in the city, in Nijmegen, because I had a photo shoot. It was my first time ever modeling, and it was very fun. It was for a festival project, Drift, if you are Dutch, and a hair salon, Pink Elephant, where I actually got my hair done used to go to, but yeah, I don't really do that anymore. And they'd asked me if I wanted to model, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I got there and they put my hair up in all these braids and in buns, and then there was a girl who had designed her own outfits, who designed clothes, and I got to wear one of her outfits, and we did a photo shoot, and it was so fun, and a cool experience. It was a little bit uncomfortable at first because it feels a little bit awkward to just stand there and repeat the same movements and just, I don't know. I had to get into it, but once I got the hang of it, I really enjoyed it. And it's nice to be surrounded by creative people. So that was just such a fun experience, and I met lovely people. So yeah. But that was also quite a hectic, tiring day. And I'm just figuring a lot of things out right now, so there's been a lot of chaos, but also I'm feeling really good and I'm doing so well. So I'm just enjoying it and riding the wave a little and taking time to also relax and just do nothing. I had a bed rotting day this weekend, and I really, really needed that. And I just watched Anne with an E all day. It's such a good show. I should really read Anne of Green Gables. I never have, but now I especially want to. But it was such a cozy, comforting show to watch. I think it's getting smaller. This always happens because I can't count. But it's fine. We're gonna continue anyway. I don't care. I wonder if I'll be able to finish the scarf because I have quite a lot of wool. Let me show you. This is my yarn, but this yellow one is just smaller. Like, I have less of it than of the rest, so I don't know how that is going to end up, but we will see. We will see with the time. Anyway, I am curious to hear how you are doing in the comments. Let me know what you're up to, what's been on your mind, where you're at. I would love to hear it. And, I'm actually pretty excited for the next couple of months and the end of the year. I am dreading the darkness and the mental health in these times, but I feel optimistic about it, and I'm really honing in on the hobbies and the cozy indoor activities, and in actively investing in my friendships and making an active effort to get outside and spend time with people, and I'm just really actively taking care of myself. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just feel like in the summer things come a lot more easily. I'm having a deja vu, maybe I talked about this before. But it just feels like a little bit more work goes into it in the darker seasons. I don't know. Or if that's just me. But yeah. It's going well so far, and I'm excited to just spend time with friends and loved ones and to make videos. I am a lot more motivated to film ASMR in the fall and winter time just because I am inside more, and I am in that cozy, like, darker mood more. And in the summer, I just want to be outside and in bright lights and in the sun. And now I'm content with being here, just snuggled up, you know. I think I am going to end this video here. I hope that you enjoyed just spending time together and listening to my endless yapping. Thank you for enduring it. lots of